factual and well-investigated stories. Look no further than Global Television. Dive deep into issues with our in-depth analysis and stay informed with our educational and interesting programs. Join us on Global Television, where quality content meets excellence. Follow us on all our social media platforms to stay connected and never miss an update. Global Television, Nigeria, our pride.
Welcome to Bayes University, Abuja, Nigeria, with a legacy of excellence and a vision for nurturing future leaders. Bayes University is in a league of its own. We're all about our people, processes, and technology.
Bayes is one of the highly rated universities in Nigeria in terms of product quality standards.
We don't just produce graduates, but groom people into employers of labor.
And it has made us understand that learning is all about three things. We learn, we unlearn, and we relearn.
Bayes University Hospital offers a range of specialized services equipped with the latest technology, manned by a team of trusted professionals. And now, our vision extends beyond our walls with the Baba Ahmed University in Kano following our lead. Join us at Bayes University and invest in your future today.
Bayes University is the institution that you will get the best value for money education in Nigeria.
Bayes University. Learn to live.
On the Global News Express, Tinubu hails Justice Anukam's re-election to African Court on Human Rights. Federal government will deploy vaccines despite slow cholera spread. In business, Nigeria fines Meta $220 million for violating consumer data laws. On the foreign scene, United States Congresswoman Jackson Lee dies at 74. And in sports, the Tigers lose to Germany in Olympics warm-up. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express and Global Television. We're coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Queen Agaba. We would like to remind you that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365. President Bola Tinubu has congratulated Justice Stella Anukam on her re-election as judge of the African Court on Human and People's Rights for another term of 6 years. Justice Anukam was re-elected at the African Union Media Coordination Meeting, Executive Council in Accra, Ghana. The president, in a statement by his spokesman, Ajuri Ngelale, commended Justice Anukam for her contributions to the development of human rights jurisprudence on the continent. The Nigerian leader urged Justice Anukam to continue to bring her invaluable knowledge and insights to the African Court. Nasarawa state government has appealed to the citizens to shun ill-conceived nationwide protest against the government of President Bola Tinubu. This is contained in a statement in Lafia by the State Commissioner for Information, Culture and Tourism, Ibrahim Angbolo. Angbolo noted that the Nasarawa state government believed in democratic government, especially efforts being made by President Bola Tinubu to provide good governance to grow the nation's economy. The Niger Delta Indigenous Contractors Association has called on President Bola Tinubu to exclude the Niger Delta Development Commission from the Treasury single account to enhance the speedy execution of projects in the region. This is as the contractors threaten to take legal actions against the international oil companies operating in the Niger Delta for allegedly refusing to remit a 3% contribution to the NCDC. They said this trend has continued for over 5 years, thereby slowing down the implementation of projects for the good of the Niger Delta people. The Nigeria Police Force says in the last 6 weeks, the Nigeria Police Force has arrested 307 armed robbery suspects, 296 kidnapping suspects, 301 homicide suspects, 176 rape, defilement suspects, and 204 suspected cultists. The Force Public Relations Officer ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi stated this while parading the 35 suspects arrested by the Force Intelligence Department and Intelligence Response Team in Abuja. Kiki Okere has details.
The Nigerian Police Force has arrested 307 armed robbery suspects, 296 kidnapping suspects, 301 homicide suspects, 176 rape through defilement suspects, 204 suspected cultists, and we've been able to recover 284 firearms, 6,702 ammunition of various calibers, and 107 vehicles, and we were able to rescue 97 victims of kidnapping.
Adejobi revealed an 11-man gang syndicate who were arrested in connection with stealing and receiving stolen items. Attesting to the crime, Mustafa Usman, the son of a retired uniform officer, says their group specializes in visiting construction sites and stealing metals and rods used in the construction. They are also involved in receiving and selling stolen electrical products and household appliances.
No, I raised it inside my room. I'm not just wearing it. I'm not wearing it.
But you call yourself soldier.
Well, that's why they call you soldier. Why did you choose the name soldier and you are not a soldier? No, the time they arrested me, they have already used to call me with this name, soldier. No, it's only me that they arrested. Yes, for sub-target, they contrast the uniform with me.
The Nigerian Police Force, under the present leadership, has been committed to executing its statutory mandate as enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of.
The parade of suspects serves as a testament to the force's dedication to ensuring public safety and security in Nigeria. Items recovered include 284 firearms, 6,702 ammunitions of various calibers, 107 vehicles, 1 AK-47 with magazines, sledgehammer, carjack, among others. Kike Lomo Okere, Global Television News.
The Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Pati, says the federal government will effectively deploy vaccines from the Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, despite spread of cholera outbreaks slowing down in the country. The minister made this known while responding to a post made by the Chief Executive Officer of the vaccine firm, Dr. Sania Nishta, on X, formerly known as Twitter. In the post, Nishta disclosed that the fresh cholera vaccines would soon arrive in Nigeria to help curb the deadly and ongoing outbreak. Hundreds of youths in Uso community in Owo local government area of Ondo State took to the streets to protest the inclusion of the community in Owo Northwest local government development area without making it a headquarters. The protesters also faulted the state government's creation of Owo Northwest LCDA, but made a smaller town the headquarters at the expense of Uso, saying it would have been good for the community to be left under Owo local government. Speaking during the protest, the leader of the protesters, Dare Oluwafemi, said the government had not been fair to the Uso community in the creation of the LCDAs in the Owo area by denying them the headquarters of the Owo Northwest local development area. The Minister of Solid Mineral Development, Dele Alake, says the nationwide onslaught of the federal government against illegal mining has gathered momentum with the arrest of several suspects allegedly involved in the illegal mining of gold in Yagba East local government area in Kogi State. He says the operation carried out by the mining marshals in Iye Odogbe, Isanlu community of the local government area involved dislodging illegal miners whose activities have prevented lawfully authorized miners with licenses covering 4 cadastral units from assessing the site for 16 years. Kikelamo Okere has details. Nigerian doctor and visual artist Dr. Fola David has surpassed the existing record for the world's largest painting by an individual. On Friday, the fourth day of his attempt, David broke the previous record of 629.98 square meters held by Ravi Soni from India, and has said that he determined to attain his ultimate goal of 1,000 square meters of art. In the course of his attempt, celebrities and dignitaries have visited David at the stadium to offer their support and witness his artistic feat firsthand. Among them are the renowned Nigerian chef and Guinness World Record holder Hilda Basi, who reportedly brought not only her well wishes, but also food and supplies to fuel Dr. David's artistic marathon. You're watching News Express, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us on our social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. When News Express returns, federal government to spend 3 trillion naira on new minimum wage, pensions and gratuities. We'll bring you this and other stories right after this break. Do stay with us.
With every government and introduction of new policies, businesses of all kinds and sizes seize the opportunity to evolve and redefine themselves. Business Point on Global Television is where we follow the money and put the facts and figures right in front of you. Watch Business Point every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. as Kikelamo Okere tracks all the latest developments across critical sectors. Business Point, this is business.
Are you ready to be entertained like never before? Get ready to dive into the latest and greatest entertainment news in lifestyle, music, movies, birthday celebration, and so much more, all on Entertainment Circle on Global Television. From the hottest red carpet event to exclusive interviews with your favorite stars, we've got you covered. Stay up to date with the latest trends and news from the entertainment world, all in one place. Tune in every Saturday by 1 p.m. with Chung Animal Joseph on Global Television.
In an ever-busy world, the increasing challenge of keeping track of health matters can be extremely demanding. Follow the latest health tips and trends on Health Guide on Global Television on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Health Guide on Global Television. Put your health first. Get ready for it. Inside Today brings you issues relating to family, peer pressure, drugs, substance abuse, societal and topical issues making rounds. Join Jumaine Manson on Global Television Monday to Thursday and a repeat every Friday. Time 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Don't miss out.
And well-investigated stories. Look no further than Global Television. Dive deep into issues with our in-depth analysis and stay informed with our educational and interesting programs. Join us on Global Television, where quality content meets excellence. Follow us on all our social media platforms to stay connected and never miss an update. Global Television, Nigeria, our pride.
Many thanks for staying with us. If you've just joined us, this is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of the News Express. On the foreign scene, soldiers were patrolling Bangladeshi cities to quell growing civil unrest sparked by student demonstrations with riot police firing on protesters who defied a government curfew. This week's violence has killed at least 115 people so far. Victims reported by police and hospitals poses a monumental challenge to Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's autocratic government after 15 years in office. A government curfew went into effect at midnight, and the Premier's office asked the military to deploy troops after police again failed to subdue widespread mayhem. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tugar, and his South African counterpart, Ronald Lamola, have called for an immediate ceasefire in the ongoing conflicts in Sudan. They lamented that the conflict had led to the death of innocent citizens, worsened the humanitarian crisis, displaced millions of people, and the destruction of critical infrastructure. According to a statement by Tugar's Special Assistant on Media and Communication Strategy, Al-Qasim Abdul-Qadir, the two ministers spoke at a meeting on the sidelines of the African Union Executive Council in Accra. They called for the commencement of a process to expedite access to humanitarian assistance in the country. Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, a Democrat and outspoken advocate for racial justice and minorities' rights, has died. Her family say she was 74. Lee, a black representative from Texas who served in Congress for nearly 3 decades, revealed last month that she had been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. The UN International Court of Justice declared that Israel's continued presence in the occupied Palestinian territory is unlawful and that all states are under an obligation not to recognize the decades-long occupation. The court was responding to a request for an advisory opinion by the General Assembly on the legal consequences arising from the policies and practices of Israel in that occupied Palestinian territory, including East Jerusalem. Unlike judgments in contentious cases between states, advisory opinions are non-binding and are sought by United Nations bodies such as the General Assembly or the Security Council. A Milan court has ordered a journalist to pay Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni damages of €5,000 for making fun of her in a social media post. The journalist, Giulia Cortese, has also given a suspended fine of €1,200 for a jib on X in October 2021 about Meloni's height that was defined as body shaming. In business, the federal government is set to spend 3 trillion naira on the new minimum wage and the payment of pensions and gratuities. The Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Atiku Bagudu, disclosed this during a meeting with the Senate Committee on Appropriations, chaired by Olamilekan Adiola. The minister presented the general principles of the newly amended 2024 budget to the committee at the meeting. The Central Bank of Nigeria has directed all banks and other financial institutions to transfer all dormant accounts, unclaimed balances, and other financial assets to its dedicated account. The Apex Bank made this known in a circular released and signed by its acting director of the Financial Policy and Banking Regulation Department, John Onoja. According to the CBN, all dormant accounts and unclaimed balances with banks for at least 10 years will be warehoused in a dedicated account known as the Unclaimed Balances Trust Fund Pool account. The Joint Committee of the House of Representatives investigating arbitrary rise of cement price in the country has asked major producers in the industry to tender documents on the cost production to justify the price of cement in the market. The committee resolved to visit production plants of the companies after going through their books to ascertain the cost of production with a view to determine a fair price of cement for all Nigerians. The chairman of the Joint Committee, Jonathan Gaza, made the demand at a public hearing while quizzing Dangote Cement Company and Lafarge Africa PLC in Abuja. He says the committee is interested in the cost of production from 2020 to date that justified the current price of cement, which is over 10,000 naira in most parts of the country. Nigeria's Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission imposed a $220 million fine on Meta platforms for violating data privacy laws. The FCCPC says in a statement signed by its acting executive chairman, Adamu Abdullahi, says Meta's data sharing practices on its Facebook and WhatsApp platforms breached local consumer and data protection regulations, adding that Meta had denied Nigerian users control over their data shared without consent and abused its market dominance. Airlines were gradually coming back online after global carriers, banks and financial institutions were thrown into turmoil by one of the biggest IT crashes in recent years, caused by an update to an antivirus program. Passenger crowds had swelled at airports on Friday to wait for news, as dozens of flights were cancelled and operators struggled to keep services on track after an update to a program operating on Microsoft Windows crashed systems worldwide. Multiple U.S. airlines and airports across Asia said they were now resuming operations, with check-in services restored in Hong Kong, South Korea and Thailand, and mostly back to normal in India, Indonesia and at Singapore's Changi Airport as of Saturday afternoon. A bridge collapse caused the torrential rains in northern China and killed 12 people, leaving more than 30 missing. Large parts of northern and central China have been battered in recent days by rains that have caused flooding and significant damage. The bridge in the northwestern Shaanxi province buckled due to a sudden downpour and flash floods. All 12 victims in the city of Shangliu were found inside 5 vehicles covered from the bridge. In sports, Victor Osimhen is set for a €4 million wage increase at Paris Saint-Germain, having reportedly agreed personal terms with the French champions. The Nigeria striker has shaken hands with the French giant on a 5-year deal worth €14 million per season, which represents a significant pay rise from his current €10 million annual salary at Napoli. The 25-year-old's agent, Roberto Calenda, was in Paris earlier this week to negotiate with PSG. Nigeria's The Tigers put up a good fight, but were ultimately beaten by Germany in a warm-up game ahead of the Paris 2024 Olympics. The African champions, ranked 12th globally by FIBA, lost to 19th ranked Germany in the preparation game played at the Uber Arena in Berlin, as the game finished 77-63 in favor of the Germans. Tigers, who have won a record 4 consecutive women's Afro-basket titles, are in a tough group for the Olympics. They're up against Canada, Australia and France in Group B of the women's basketball event. French authorities have recalled Olympics-branded water bottles for children containing excessive levels of endocrine disruptor bisphenol A week ahead of the Paris Games opening. The reusable bottles made by Villette Company have levels of bisphenol A not in line with regulations. On products designed for contact with foods, government website Rappel Council. The white-colored flask with beige, blue or red tops are branded with Olympic rings, the Paris 2024 mascot or the Olympic flame. People who have bought them are advised to return them to the place of purchase, according to letters from authorities. As we end the Global News Express, let's take a look at some of our top stories. President Tinubu hails Justice Anukam's re-election to African Court on human rights. Federal government will deploy vaccines despite slow cholera spread. In business, Nigeria fines Meta $220 million for violating consumer data laws. On the foreign scene, United States Congresswoman Jackson Lee dies at 74. In sports, the Tigers lose to Germany in Olympics warm-up. That's it on the News Express, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on DSTV, channel 365, and StarTimes, channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. I'm Queen Agaba. Thank you for watching, and see you again.